As long as there are Jews, there will be Jew hatred. As much as I support and participate in all of the End Jew Hatred rallies, we will never be able to end Jew hatred. It is inherent in the fabric of life. Since 1967, American Jews were able to take a vacation. We lived in a world that masked the Jew hatred. We lived in a world where we thought that HR managers don't check out for Jewish names. We lived in a world where we thought that we don't need to worry about our children being attacked because they're Jews. Guess what? October 7th changed everything. And we will never be able to go back to October 6th. We will never go, we here in the United States will never have the same life that we did. Why? Because we're Jews, and everywhere we go, we're gonna be changing things. We're gonna be bringing morality. We're gonna be bringing light. We're gonna be bringing innovation. And so, every time you think that you're missing the good old times, don't. Be strong. Realize that this is how life is everywhere else for thousands of years. United States has given us a vacation from Jew hatred. And unfortunately, vacation is over. And now we just need to realize that and build ourselves up and build our children up so that they understand that this is what it is. And that leads me to unpopular opinion number 2. And that is, American Jewish parents have failed their children for generations. Why? Because we have not prioritized building our kids' Jewish identity. We prioritize violin lessons and basketball practice, and we are too lazy, I'm sorry, to make it clear to our children that when they wake up, they are Jews. When they go to sleep, they are Jews. Jewish identity is what is going to carry our people. If we get upset that our public high school puts on a Christmas play and we worry about our Jewish child, but we're not getting upset when a physics teacher has a Free Palestine poster, your children's Jewish identity is the most fragile. Don't be afraid by people telling you Merry Christmas. That's not the fear. Be afraid when your Jewish kid is going to come home and will tell you, how dare you didn't tell me about occupation? That's when you get to worry. And finally, unpopular opinion number 3, and that's the one that gets me into most trouble. Jewish education without building advocacy and activism in it is irrelevant for the Jewish people in this century. We can no longer afford to have Jewish education for education's sake. If you're talking to a 15-year-old and you're teaching them biblical history and you don't connect the dots that Jews are the indigenous people of the Middle East. We come from that land. We are inherently connected to it, and you don't teach your child how to stand up for himself, how to explain to her classmates that Jews are not white. The Jews are not colonialists. The Jews come from that land, and we are forever inseparable. You're failing the Jewish education. It is a miseducation. It is a malpractice of you as an educator. Let me tell you 2 stories. In 2011, in middle school in Palo Alto, young Jewish girls would get together across the street to an ice cream parlor. And that's where they were, and they were waiting for their mothers to pick them up. It became a hangout, and everybody knew that these are the Jewish girls from the Jewish day school across the street, and they're getting ice cream and they're waiting for their moms to pick them up. Seventh grader boys from a neighboring public middle school started coming to that ice cream parlor and started taunting the girls. By December, the insults evolved. You don't need names, numbers would do. You would fit great into my oven. Swastikas were flying all over the place. When these girls finally told their parents, what did the parents do? Did they rise up? Did they go to the middle school? No. They told their daughters to keep their heads down, to stop coming to the ice cream parlor, and to not make a big deal of it because these boys are idiots. What did these girls learn from this? Are they going to have the proud Jewish identity? Are they going to raise their children Jewish? Because what did they hear from their parents? Keep your head down. Don't make a wave. We cannot do that. When our children come to us and they tell us that something is wrong, and if we're lucky that they come and tell us, because most of the time the kids, they don't share with their parents what is happening. So if your kid is coming to you and telling you, the light is shining upon you. This is your time to be an Esther. This is your time to be a Mordecai. This is your time to stand up and do what you would do if it was somebody else. Somehow the Jewish community is so good for advocating for anybody else. We're advocating for LGBT, we're advocating for the homeless, we're advocating for women's rights, we're advocating for everybody else. It is time to start advocating for ourselves. Advocacy, Jewish advocacy, has nothing to do with the state of Israel. I will say it again. Jewish advocacy has nothing to do with the state of Israel. It has everything to do that the state of Israel is Jewish. Because when they attack Israel, they're not really attacking the place. They're attacking the people. They're attacking Am Israel. They're attacking the Jewish people. So if your kid understands that we are one people with one destiny, then that kid doesn't have to defend or speak up for Israel, because that kid will be speaking up and defending themselves as Jews. One of the things that we do in Club Z, we have this exercise early in the year. We put up posters, and on the posters we write Jewish, American, Israeli, Russian, French, and we ask the kids, what kind of Jew are you? Go write your name or go write something there. And no matter what is happening in that group, I am very clear with my expected outcome as an educator. What I want the kids to understand is that whether they are Russian, American, French, or Hispanic Jews, I don't care. They are Jews. If you take a pickle and you put that pickle in different brines, it's still going to be a pickle. So the Jewish identity has to be the primal one. And if we raise the kid who understands that, and if you have a home that supports that, then you're not going to worry about Thanksgiving dinner and you're not going to be worried about Passover, because your kid will have the strength and the power of the entire Jewish people that are standing behind him. So ladies and gentlemen, it is time to be clear, and it's time to be unapologetic in what you're expecting of your Jewish education. Now, this is not an excuse to outsource Jewish education to somebody else. Nobody can raise your kid to be a Jew but you. You have to have a Jewish home and you have to have a Jewish life. And if you do, then again, your kid will come and will share things with you and will make sure that you have Jewish grandchildren. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Jewish defense is on us. Number one, we'll never go back to October 6th. This is the new reality, and welcome to it. Let's dig deep and understand this is going to be the marathon. This is not a sprint. Number two, we have to have Jewish lives, and we have to build Jewish identity of our children that is strong and sustainable. And number three is that's the easiest one. Teach your children how to stand up for themselves. Hasbara, Israel advocacy, that will come as an honor. That will come as an of course, instead of an obligation and something that we expect them to do. If you're sending your kid to an American campus, they're going to be attacked. Prepare them today. Prepare them now. Make sure that Israel is everyday topic of conversation in your home, and make sure that your kid knows history, understands context, and is always proud to be a Jew. Thank you very much.